Welcome back to the 79, the channel for all things AI. Today, we're going to dive into something you guys have been really active about in the comments. It's China's AI scene.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
it really is. We've got some pretty major developments coming out of the East, and the question on everyone's mind is, are they just catching up to the U.S., or are we watching a full-blown power shift?
It's interesting how fast the story's changing. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that everyone was just assuming, oh, China's just playing catch up.
Right.
But I think the stuff that we've seen recently suggests that it's a lot more dynamic and a lot more competitive.
Okay, so let's talk DeepSeek.
Yeah.
This Chinese AI lab seemingly came out of nowhere. They dropped DeepSeek V3, and it's like rivaling, even surpassing some of the leading American models. And what's really wild to me is the efficiency of it all. They
Yeah.
built this thing for a fraction of what these U.S. giants are spending.
Yeah, it really challenges the idea that you need billions of dollars and massive computing power
Right.
to be at the cutting edge of AI. I mean,
Yeah.
DeepSeek built V3 for just under $6 million.
Wow.
Compare that to OpenAI's
Yeah?
$5 billion annual budget, or Google's capital expenditures, which are supposed to top $50 billion
This year.
this year.
Yeah, that's not even in comparison. That's a whole nother
It's not even close.
ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this mean that we're going to see a wave of like smaller players kind of entering the AI race? Because suddenly it doesn't seem like you need to be a tech behemoth to compete.
It definitely opens up the possibility. I mean, DeepSeek's approach really suggests that, like, efficient resource utilization and, clever engineering can be just as effective as brute force spending.
Right.
And it's not just about cost savings. Think about the implications for accessibility.
Yeah, unpack that for me. What does this mean for accessibility?
Well, DeepSeek went open source with their model.
Oh, wow.
So developers around the world now have free access to the code and they can build on it, which could be a huge catalyst for innovation, especially in regions that haven't traditionally had access to cutting-edge AI.
It's like they've leveled the playing field in a big way.
Yeah.
But this is where things get a little strange. DeepSeek's model has been known to, well, identify itself as ChatGPT in some instances.
Yeah.
Is this like an AI identity crisis or something?
It's definitely intriguing.
Yeah.
On the surface, it might seem like a bit of playful emulation, but it really points to something deeper.
Okay.
DeepSeek is really leveraging existing AI outputs and architecture, particularly from models like ChatGPT, but they're not just copying, they're building on that foundation.
So they're taking what's already out there, they're learning from it, and they're innovating on top of it.
Yeah,
That's a really interesting approach. It's almost like an open source mindset taken to the next level.
exactly. And it seems to be working.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rapidly iterating, they're incorporating the latest advancements, and they're making their technology widely available.
It definitely feels like they've put the pressure on companies like OpenAI. It's no coincidence that OpenAI is now heavily emphasizing reasoning capabilities in their newer models like O1.
Yeah, but the question is, can OpenAI maintain its lead in
Right.
this area? I mean, DeepSeek has shown like remarkable agility and adaptability.
Right.
It's pretty likely that they'll incorporate similar reasoning capabilities into their models.
Yeah, and if they continue to offer those models open source at a fraction of the cost, that could be a major disruptor.
Huge.
Yeah, imagine a world where even the most advanced AI features are just readily available.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like we're talking about the commoditization of AI.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Wow.
I mean, DeepSeek's cost-effective approach could trigger a wave of innovation and accessibility, just making these sophisticated AI tools way more readily available.
And DeepSeek isn't the only player in this game. We're seeing similar moves from other Chinese companies.
Yeah, for sure.
Take Alibaba, for example. They just
Yeah.
released Qwen2.5-VL, a free open source model.
It's a good one.
That's giving OpenAI's pricey operator a run for its money.
Yeah, it's a very clear trend.
Yeah.
I mean, Chinese companies are offering powerful AI tools at significantly lower costs, and this could completely reshape the entire AI landscape.
Speaking of reshaping the landscape, let's shift gears to our speed round.
Okay.
We got a ton of AI news to cover, so buckle up.
All right.
First up, xAI's Grok 3 briefly became accessible.
Briefly.
Yeah, to some users on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quickly pulled back.
Yeah, they pulled it back pretty quick. But even that brief glimpse showed some impressive capabilities in terms of logical reasoning and coding.
Next, remember DeepSeek?
Yeah.
Well, they've had to temporarily hit pause on new user signups.
Mhm.
They were targeted in a cyber attack.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, just a reminder that rapid growth in the tech world often comes with increased vulnerability.
Absolutely, cybersecurity is mission critical, especially in a field as sensitive as AI.
On a different note, Meta AI is now personalizing responses using data from users' Facebook and Instagram profiles.
Interesting.
Yeah, it raises some interesting questions about the balance between personalization and data privacy.
Yeah, how much are we willing to, give up
Yeah.
in exchange for a more tailored AI experience?
Now for some robotics news. 1X, a robotics startup that's backed by OpenAI,
Oh, wow.
just acquired Kind Humanoid, a Norwegian company.
Interesting.
This could have major implications for the development of humanoid robots.
Oh,
I mean, the combination of 1X's resources and Kind Humanoid's technology is definitely something to watch.
agreed.
Over in the media world, Quartz, the business news site, has been using AI to generate news articles,
Yeah, I read about that.
which raises some
Well,
ethical considerations about transparency
for sure.
and the role of AI in content creation.
Yeah, how do we ensure accuracy and accountability when AI is involved in journalism?
And in a move that speaks volumes, former Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger is opting to use DeepSeek's models over OpenAI's at his startup Glue.
That's a pretty clear indication of DeepSeek's growing influence, even among established tech figures in the US.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's really something. Last but not least, we've got news from the AI drug discovery space.
Okay.
Manus AI, which is backed by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, just raised $24.6 million.
Interesting.
What's notable here is that this is significantly less than what other AI drug discovery startups have been raising.
Yeah, it could suggest a shift in investment strategies
Right.
in the field.
Yeah, so as you can see, the AI world is incredibly dynamic right now, and China's advancements are definitely shaking things up. But what does this all mean?
I mean, that's the big question, right? I mean,
Right.
we're seeing a potential shift in power dynamics.
Yeah.
We're seeing a move toward greater accessibility through open source, and we're seeing just tons of disruption
Yeah.
in established markets.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We'll be unpacking all of this and more as our deep dive continues. Stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of striking how DeepSeek's just rocketed to the top.
Yeah.
It seems like it really caught a lot of people in Silicon Valley off guard.
It's like they came out of the shadows, right?
Yeah.
One minute they're virtually unknown, and the next they're releasing a model that's rivaling the biggest names in the game.
It's a classic case of disruption, and it really highlights how AI innovation is becoming increasingly global.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't just assume that, all the advancements are going to come from Silicon Valley or any specific region.
Right. And that's got some people, we're especially here in the U.S.,
Sure.
they're concerned about what this means for economic dominance, even national security.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think those concerns are understandable. AI is rapidly becoming like a mission-critical technology with applications in pretty much every industry you can think of. So whoever controls the development and deployment of AI is going to have a huge advantage in the years to come.
So let's talk about the potential consequences of this shift. First up, the challenge to U.S. dominance.
Yeah.
For a long time, the U.S. was the undisputed leader in AI, with companies like Google, Microsoft, OpenAI setting the pace.
Yeah, but now China's emerging as a serious contender.
Right.
And it's not just about building cutting edge models, it's
Right.
about creating this whole ecosystem around AI.
Yeah.
Research institutions, talent pools, supportive government policies.
Right.
China's investing heavily in all those things.
And then there's the whole open source movement. I mean, DeepSeek's decision to open source their model is potentially a game changer.
Yeah,
It makes powerful AI tech accessible to a much wider audience.
absolutely. And that could just dramatically accelerate the pace of AI development globally. When you have more people who have access to the underlying technology, innovation just happens so much faster.
Right.
We've seen this with open source software in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the impact of Linux, for example.
That's a great point. Open source software has really revolutionized the tech world, but some people are concerned about the potential downsides of open source AI.
Yeah.
What if malicious actors use it to develop harmful applications?
I mean, that's a very legitimate concern. So it's crucial that we have, clear ethical guidelines and safeguards in place, especially as AI becomes more and more widely available. We need to make sure it's developed and used responsibly.
Which brings us to what might be the most important point of all, control of the narrative.
Yeah.
If China becomes a dominant force in AI development, they'll have a lot of influence over the values, the principles embedded in those systems.
Exactly, because AI models, they're trained on just massive amounts of data.
Right.
And that data really reflects the biases and the values
But the society that produced it.
yeah, of the society that produced it. So it's not just about the technology.
Right.
It's also about the cultural and ethical context that it's developed in.
So the implications go way beyond just the technical aspects.
Yeah.
We're talking about how AI is used in decision-making, the kinds of applications that are developed, the values that are baked into these systems.
Exactly. We really need to make sure that, there are diverse voices and perspectives involved in AI development.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we run the risk of creating systems that just perpetuate the existing biases and inequalities.
Right.
The goal should be to develop AI that benefits, all of humanity.
And this is where things get really interesting. China's government has made no secret of their ambitions to become the global leader in AI.
Right.
They're pouring resources into making that happen.
They've set this national target of becoming the world's leading AI power by 2030. And based on their recent progress, they seem to be well on their way.
So what does this mean for the future of the AI landscape? It seems like we're moving towards a multipolar world. AI development, innovation, it's not going to be dominated by a single country or a single region anymore.
Yeah, I think that's right. And it presents both challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
Competition can drive innovation, but it could also lead to an AI arms race. I mean, what if countries start prioritizing military applications over, using AI to solve global challenges?
That's a really scary thought.
Yeah.
It's a complex and rapidly evolving situation.
For sure.
And we need to start having some serious conversations about the future of AI, how to ensure that it's used for good.
Yeah, I mean, one thing's for sure, the AI revolution is just getting started.
And speaking of things that are just getting started, it's time for round 2
Oh.
of our speed round.
Okay, round 2.
Yeah, remember, these are quick hits of some of the most noteworthy AI news from the past week. First up, DeepSeek's model is making waves in the financial markets.
Yeah, it's estimated that the release of DeepSeek-R1 has wiped out over $1 trillion in value from the U.S. stock market.
$1 trillion.
Trillion, yeah.
Wow, that's massive.
It is. I mean, NVIDIA's been hit especially hard. Their stock plunged 17% yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Leading to a loss of almost $500 billion.
Overnight. That's a stark reminder of how AI advancements can have a real-world impact on the financial world.
Yeah, it highlights how important it is to, stay informed about these developments, especially if you're involved in the tech sector or the investment sectors.
Next up, we've got some news in the realm of multimodal AI. DeepSeek just released a new family of multimodal models called Janus-Pro.
Multimodal AI, think of it as being able to process and understand different types of information, like text and images. So these models can actually generate high-quality images from text prompts, and they're reportedly outperforming OpenAI's DLE3 in some benchmarks.
So they're challenging OpenAI on multiple fronts now in language models and image generation, and they're sticking with their open source approach, which means more people will have access to these powerful tools.
It's a pretty bold strategy, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the long run.
Now let's talk about Alibaba. They're back in the news with their own new family of AI models, Qwen2.5-VL.
Okay.
These are designed to perform a range of text and image analysis tasks.
And get this, they're being offered as a free alternative to OpenAI's operator, which costs $200 a month.
So it seems like there's a real push to develop affordable and accessible AI tools, which is good news for anyone who wants to kind of leverage the power of AI without breaking the bank.
Yeah, it's definitely creating a very competitive environment. I wonder how the established players like OpenAI, how they're going to respond. Are they going to lower their prices, or are they going to, double down on developing even more advanced features to justify the higher cost?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the AI landscape is getting more competitive by the day.
It certainly is. All that competition is leading to just incredibly rapid innovation, and it's making AI technology more accessible than ever.
Okay, final item in our speed round. Back to the AI drug discovery space. Manus AI, the startup we mentioned earlier that's backed by Reid Hoffman, just raised $24.6 million in funding.
Okay.
What's interesting is that this is significantly less than what other AI drug discovery startups have raised in their initial funding rounds. I mean, some have raised over $1 billion right out of the gate.
Right. So, I mean, does that mean that investors are becoming more cautious about, pouring tons of money
Yeah.
into AI drug discovery? It's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Or it could just reflect, Manus AI's specific approach
Right.
and
Yeah.
where they are in their development. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Either way, it shows how the AI investment landscape is constantly shifting. I mean,
Yeah.
things can change really quickly in this space.
Absolutely. It's super important to stay informed about, these trends and to be critical about, where you invest your time and resources.
Yeah.
I mean, the AI world is full of both promise and hype. So it's
Uh-huh.
important to be able to kind of separate the two.
So that wraps up our speed round. As you can see, things are moving at lightning speed in the world of AI.
They really are.
And we've only just scratched the surface of what's happening in China.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time to be following this field.
Yeah.
I mean, we're witnessing a technological revolution in real time, and it's really anyone's guess what the future holds.
We've got a lot more to unpack when it comes to China's AI surge. Stay tuned for the final part of this deep dive, where we'll explore some potential future scenarios and what it all means for you. Welcome back to the 79. We've spent the last 2 segments diving deep into China's AI surge, exploring everything from DeepSeek's rise to the broader shifts in the global AI landscape. Now let's put on our thinking caps and look ahead. What are some possible scenarios as China continues these AI advancements?
Well, one possibility is that we see a continued divergence in AI development, with China and the U.S. leading separate and potentially competing AI ecosystems.
So instead of like a unified global AI landscape, we could end up with different standards, different protocols, even different ethical frameworks governing AI in different parts of the world.
Exactly. I mean, imagine a world where AI applications that are developed in China are just incompatible with those developed in the U.S.
Yeah.
That could really hinder collaboration and slow down overall progress.
It would be like having 2 separate internets, like a digital iron curtain. Not very efficient. But what about the flip side? Could China's open source approach lead to a more collaborative, global AI ecosystem?
That's another possibility. Imagine, Chinese AI models becoming the foundation for applications and services worldwide. It would accelerate the democratization of AI and make these powerful tools accessible to pretty much everyone.
That sounds promising, but
Right.
who would be in control in that scenario? Like, who sets the standards? Who governs the development and the use of these technologies?
Those are really important questions.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about the potential for misuse, right?
Yeah.
As AI gets more powerful, we really need to think about the ethical implications and implement safeguards to prevent it from being used for, harmful purposes.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads. On one hand, we have the potential for just incredible progress, all the positive applications of AI.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there are real risks and challenges that we really need to address.
And this isn't just a technological challenge, it's a societal challenge.
Right.
We need to have a global conversation about the future of AI. And that involves, governments, industry leaders, researchers, the public.
Yeah, and that's where you, our amazing viewers at the 79, come in. First and foremost, stay informed.
Absolutely.
I mean, the AI world is evolving at an incredible pace, so, keep up with the latest developments.
Read articles, listen to podcasts,
Right.
Engage in discussions about AI. The more you understand about this technology, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the challenges and the opportunities.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Challenge assumptions and think critically about the implications of AI for your own life and for society as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, remember, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something that we're all shaping together.
That's a powerful thought. So be informed, be engaged, and be part of the conversation. Huge thanks to our expert for joining us today and sharing their incredible insights.
It's been a pleasure. And for everyone watching, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into China's AI surge. Hopefully you found it informative and thought-provoking.
If you did, give this video a like, subscribe to the 79 for more in-depth AI content, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
And don't forget to head over to the79newsletter.com/subscribe to get even more AI insights and analysis delivered straight to your inbox.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the AI curve.